Greetings to everyone out there and welcome back to Around the Clock. And during one of his latest financial conference calls, Nintendo's global president and CEO Shuntaro Furukawa discussed the rise of digital sales on the Nintendo Switch console, along with the company's plans to increase the appeal of the Nintendo Switch online service. Thanks to NintendoEverything.com, we have a translation of this full conversation, so let's get right into it. Starting off with what was asked of Shuntaro Furukawa, as you can see here. The digital business grew significantly in the fourth quarter, but could you provide a quantitative discussion of, for example, Nintendo Switch Online paid membership numbers and ongoing initiatives for Nintendo accounts? And here's Shuntaro Furukawa's answer. The ratio of digital sales in the fourth quarter was relatively high in the fiscal year ended March 2019 as well. We assume this was likely due to many cases in which consumers who purchased hardware during the holiday season chose easily accessible digital version of software when purchasing their second and third software titles. In the fiscal year that just ended, Animal Crossing New Horizons is well suited to being played as a digital version, which we consider was a factor in the relatively high ratio of digital sales in the fourth quarter. Regarding the number of paid memberships for Nintendo Switch Online, we do not plan to disclose a specific number this time, but memberships are increasing steadily with the expanding hardware install base beyond 15 million accounts, the number we have already announced at the corporate management policy briefing in January 2020. The number of paid memberships has particularly grown since the release of titles that support online play, like Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield and Animal Crossing New Horizons. By adding elements that make games even more fun to play and by increasing the appeal of the service itself, we hope to continuously grow this into a service that makes Nintendo Switch even more enjoyable and convenient for consumers to play. Regarding Nintendo accounts, we consider them to be an important way to build lasting relationships with consumers. With the distribution of games like Mario Kart Tour, the number of consumers with Nintendo accounts surpassed 100 million, and this number has continued to rise greatly since then. We will continue our efforts to build trust with consumers so that they will want to keep their relationships with Nintendo over the long term. So, there you have it, and Shuntaro Furukawa made some very great points within this conference call. Now, as you can see here, this is the graphic of Nintendo's digital sales for the fiscal year of 2020 ending in March of 2020. And as Shuntaro Furukawa stated in that conference call, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Pokemon Sword, and Pokemon Shield contributed to 70% of the digital sales for this fiscal year, and 30% came from download-only software and DLC add-on content as well as the Nintendo Switch Online service. He also stated that he would like to continue this trend, and I believe that this will happen, especially with this global pandemic going around. A lot of people are not going out to stores as they usually do, so just downloading a game and having it on your Nintendo Switch right then and there is probably more feasible for a lot of people and more convenient. This has obviously contributed to the rise in digital sales over the past few months, and I think this will continue within the next couple of years for Nintendo Switch. I also want to point out that last week, during Nintendo's financial year report, Shuntaro Furukawa made it clear to the investors that Nintendo will be bringing more features to the Nintendo Switch Online service. There's no telling at this point what these features may be, but I think it's clear that Nintendo is full of surprises, so whenever they decide to disclose this information, I'm pretty sure that it will be worthwhile. Now, speaking on new features coming to the Nintendo Switch Online service, Nintendo has just announced 4 new games coming to this online service starting May 20th, 2020. These games are, starting off with the Super NES titles, Wild Guns, Operation Logic Bomb, Panel de Pon, as well as the NES title, Rygar. Now, as far as Panel de Pon, this will be the first time that this game will be playable in the United States. And I can't recommend any other games except for Wild Guns because I played Wild Guns growing up, and Wild Guns actually has a remake version on the Nintendo Switch eShop, which you should definitely check out. It's a very well done remake, and I'm super excited that the original is on the Nintendo Switch Online service. So with that being said, Nintendo also has a brand new trailer featuring all 4 of these games coming to the Nintendo Switch Online service. So I'll leave y'all with that trailer. I hope you enjoyed all the information shared in this video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.